Okay, friends, not everything that seems like a God thing is a God thing. That's going to be our thought for day 80 in our Bible reading plan. Here's what it says in 1 Samuel 24, verses 3 and 4. A really interesting story. He came to the sheep pens along the way. A cave was there, and Saul went in to relieve himself, to use the bathroom. David and his men were far in the back of the cave. The men said, "This is the day the Lord spoke of when he said to you, 'I'm going to give your enemy into your hands for you to deal with as you wish.'" But then David crept up unnoticed, and he cut off a corner of Saul's robe. Right? Kind of anticlimactic. It's not what you would expect to happen. Right? See, in a world where eliminating your enemy was okay, David does something that's not normal. See, Saul had been pursuing David relentlessly. He had tried to harm David multiple times, and David just refused to strike back. So David sees Saul's army coming, and so he and his men hide in the back of a cave. And a little while later, as Saul is going by, he stops the whole army, hops off his horse or camel, whatever he's on, and he goes into this cave that David and his men are in, and he takes the most vulnerable position that you could take in that moment. David's men start telling him, "This is what God was talking about, David. This is a God thing. God's delivered him into your hands. God did this for you, David." But knowing that Saul would have harmed you, knowing that eliminating your enemies was okay in this time, knowing that your godly friends are urging you on, knowing that Saul mysteriously walks into this cave that you're hiding in and assumes his position, what would you do? See, somehow David understood that in the midst of all of this God stuff, this thing that God set up and God ordained, it was still wrong to harm the king. See, followers of Jesus, we've got to keep this in mind when all of the stars align. Right? Because from time to time, it just seems like a God thing. It's lining up right in front of us, and it's still not a license to do something contrary to what Jesus would do. See, if the God thing that's right in front of you, all the stars are aligning, this is obviously what God wants for you, is going to end up requiring you to do something that you know that Jesus wouldn't do, it's not a God thing. No matter how good it looks and no matter how things arrange themselves in front of you. Because not everything that seems like a God thing is a God thing. Keep that in mind. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.